Good morning everybody, it's Emma here from Brookings. Wanted to do a video for you today to give to you the statistics for the UK housing market for last quarter. Now, we all know that COVID-19 caused the property market to come to a bit of a pause, following on from the post-Brexit spring bounce that we were all experiencing. Now, as we exit lockdown, we do hope to see that pre-COVID market return, and here at Brookings are already experiencing a very busy and active marketplace. Be that, we're uncertain at the moment if that's just for the pent-up need and desires during the lockdown period. However, we will keep an eye on our statistics and hope to report this to you soon. What did we learn? So, in comparison to March 2019's data to March 2020, the UK's average house price has risen by 2.1%. However, the property volume of turnover has come down by 9.8%. This in turn obviously would cause the statistics of mortgages that have been approved being down by 9.5%, but the annual growth of the gross mortgage lending has been up by 2.9%. And also very positive news in respect of the new build housing market, in consideration to the data presented from quarter 4 2018 to quarter 4 2019 has risen by 0.6%. And with the sheer volume of developments that are going on for new build sites at the moment, we hope to see this figure increase by the end of quarter 4 2020. So we hope to see some great signs for the new build housing market. Lettings again has been on a rise. So in comparison to the average rental income from April 2019 to April 2020, the average rent has increased by 1.5%. And data and research suggests that rental prices will increase over the next 5 years by around 2.5%. Now, COVID-19 has caused many people to consider alternative ways of commuting to work and avoiding public transport wherever possible. The government is encouraging schemes such as pop-up cycle lanes, wider pavements and school streets, and many local authorities have already begun to make changes, with the government investing over £250 million to secure a lasting legacy of greener, safer transport. In fact, statistics show from the lockdown on data from the government website that there's been a 78% increase of people out on bikes. I too am one of those 70%, along with my colleague Ryan, who both purchased bicycles during the lockdown period. Also, following lockdown, the importance to address outside space is likely to be an increase. Currently in the UK, only 66% of flats have a private outside space, in comparison to 97% of houses having their own private spaces. We may see a shift in building design, and the premium has already been established, which comes in at £2,500 within 100 metres of green space. You're getting a higher premium in comparison to those properties with green space 500 metres away. So that's going to be very mindful with the builders looking on the new build developments to create, and we may see a shift of green spacing being increased. And also, working from home, lockdown's proven for many skeptics that whilst you didn't think so, we can actually work from home and work effectively. It's viable and even in some cases very convenient. Before COVID-19, there's only 5% of people actively worked from home on a regular basis, and only 30% of people had ever worked from home. We don't expect to see the end of offices, and obviously it's very great for the social aspect and the need and desires of being able to have a life outside of your home bubble. However, working from home could become a more common, and with it, relative important to the commute times, broadband speeds and space for home offices. Now, we've seen from the data suggested that 51% of people took from lockdown the time that they gained from not having to do the commuting to their work, to their offices, to their work sites. So 51% of people actually valued that time saved. And this kind of goes hand in hand with what the data what we're seeing with when people are searching for their next home. We've actually seen an increase now that 30% of people find it a necessity, so a need more so than a desire, for having a garden space. 21% of the statistics show that people want a home working space. 16% are looking for broadband speed, and 15% are even looking for a less urban area. So the people who are actually looking at maybe working from home on a more regular basis are taking themselves away from the inner cities and maybe into a more rural accommodation. So finally, it leads me onto a very big statistic. I'll leave you with this. On the 13th of May 2020 was obviously the date that the government announced that England estate agents could go back into the offices and viewings could commence once more. On this same day, the amount of visitors that went to Rightmove's portal was 5.2 million. So 5.2 million visits to Rightmove was presented on the 13th of May 2020. That was up by an incredible 4% from last year. And it definitely indicates that people were requiring and needed the housing market to start once more. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my video. If you've got any questions, I will be looking at doing one for our actual location and doing a regional one for you. But I wanted to give you an overview on the UK property market because I think it's very important to look at the statistics and see exactly where we're going. Who knows where the market's going to go? There's a lot of press being suggested at the moment, but all we can do is look at the stats, and I'll keep them coming and keep presenting them to you as and when received. Take care. Bye-bye.